Las Vegas, a city that never sleeps, where the neon lights burn bright and the promise of fortune lures millions every year. City of lights, chants, and on this particular night, a thundering call for change. The Strip, usually a playground for tourists, became the backdrop for a different kind of spectacle. Senator Bernie Sanders brought his Fight the Oligarchy tour to the Nevada desert, and the people responded. His message of economic justice and political revolution echoed through the night. Thousands packed the arena, their energy electric. The air was thick with hope and determination, a palpable sense of unity among the attendees. They were there to hear Sanders' message, a message that has resonated with millions across the country. A call to action against the entrenched powers that be, a plea for a government that works for all. Joining Sanders on stage were familiar faces of the progressive movement. Each speaker brought their own unique perspective and passion to the cause. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, firebrand and champion of the people, brought her signature blend of passion and policy. Her words ignited the crowd, reminding them of the power they hold. Steve Horsford, Nevada's own, stood as a testament to the power of grassroots organizing. His presence was a reminder that change starts at the local level. The crowd was a microcosm of America itself, diverse, hard-working, and yearning for a fairer shake. Faces of all ages and backgrounds united in their desire for a better future. Teachers, nurses, construction workers, students, they came from all walks of life, united by a common frustration with a system rigged against them. Their stories, though varied, shared a common thread of struggle and resilience. The air crackled with anticipation. Every cheer, every chant, was a testament to the collective power of the people. This wasn't just a rally, it was a declaration that the people would not be silenced. A roar from the desert, demanding change, and a promise that their voices would be heard. Sanders wasted no time in laying bare the stark reality facing America. He stood before a sea of faces, each one reflecting the hope and desperation of a nation at a crossroads. His voice, filled with urgency and conviction, cut through the noise, demanding attention and action. "We live in an oligarchy," he declared, his voice booming through the arena. The words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of truth. It was a call to arms, a rallying cry for those who felt left behind by a system that seemed rigged against them. The crowd roared their agreement, a thunderous applause that echoed the collective frustration and determination of the people. They were not just spectators, they were participants in a movement for change. He painted a picture of two Americas existing side by side. One, a land of opportunity and excess where the wealthy live in unimaginable luxury. The other, a land of struggle and hardship where the majority fight to make ends meet. In one America, the ultra-wealthy hoard unimaginable fortunes. Their lives are a testament to the vast resources they control. Resources that could transform the lives of millions if distributed more equitably. Billionaires like Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg, their names synonymous with obscene wealth, control more wealth than the entire bottom half of the country combined. Their influence extends beyond their bank accounts, shaping policies and economies to their benefit. CEOs rake in salaries 300 times that of their average worker. This disparity is not just a statistic, it's a stark reminder of the growing chasm between the haves and the have-nots. The top 1% owns more than the bottom 90% combined. This concentration of wealth in the hands of a few is a symptom of a deeper, systemic issue that needs urgent addressing. In the other America, working families struggle to keep their heads above water. They face a daily grind, working multiple jobs just to afford basic necessities. They work longer hours for less pay, their wages stagnant while the cost of living skyrockets. The dream of upward mobility feels increasingly out of reach for many. They are one medical emergency, one job loss, away from financial ruin. The safety nets meant to protect them are fraying, leaving them vulnerable to the whims of an unpredictable economy. This, Sanders argued, is not an accident. It's a feature of a system designed to benefit the few at the expense of the many. His message was clear. Real change requires a collective effort to dismantle the structures of inequality and build a fairer, more just society for all. The culprit, according to Sanders, is clear corporate greed. He pointed to the unchecked power of corporations, particularly in healthcare, finance, and technology. Pharmaceutical companies, he argued, prioritize profits over people, charging exorbitant prices for life-saving drugs. Wall Street, with its insatiable appetite for risk and deregulation, continues to gamble with the livelihoods of millions. Three Wall Street firms, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, are major stockholders in 95% of American corporations, Sanders thundered. This concentration of power, he argued, stifles competition, drives up prices, and leaves consumers at their mercy. It's a system where a handful of executives make decisions that impact the lives of millions, with little to no accountability. The consequences of this rigged system, Sanders argued, are felt most acutely by the working class. He spoke of their daily struggles, their anxieties about making ends meet, their fears for their children's future. He highlighted the rising cost of housing, healthcare, and education, forcing families to make impossible choices. He spoke of the stress, the despair, the feeling of being trapped in a system that seems designed to keep them down. He drew a direct link between this economic insecurity and the declining life expectancy of working-class Americans, a stark contrast to the increasing lifespans of the wealthy. The American dream, he argued, is fading for far too many. Section 5. A blueprint for a people-powered economy. But Sanders' message wasn't just about doom and gloom, it was about hope, resilience, and the power of collective action. He inspired people to believe that a better future was possible, one where everyone could thrive, not just the wealthy few. He offered a vision for a different kind of America, a fairer America, a more just America, an America where the values of equality, justice, and compassion were at the forefront of every policy decision. He laid out a bold, progressive agenda, one that puts the needs of working families first. This agenda wasn't just a list of policies, it was a call to action, a blueprint for a people-powered economy that prioritizes human dignity and well-being. Medicare for all, a single-payer healthcare system, would guarantee healthcare as a right, not a privilege. This transformative policy would ensure that no one has to choose between paying for healthcare and other basic necessities. Lowering prescription drug prices would provide relief to millions struggling to afford life-saving medication. It would put an end to the predatory practices of pharmaceutical companies that prioritize profits over people's health. Raising the minimum wage to $17 an hour would lift millions out of poverty and boost the economy. It would ensure that hard work is rewarded with a living wage, allowing families to live with dignity and security. Strengthening unions would give workers a seat at the table and a fighting chance to negotiate for better wages and benefits. Unions are the backbone of a fair economy, ensuring that workers' rights are protected and their voices are heard. Expanding Social Security would ensure dignity and security for our seniors. It would provide a safety net for those who have spent their lives contributing to society, ensuring they can retire with peace of mind. Affordable housing, tuition-free public colleges, and a Green New Deal would create jobs, combat climate change, and invest in our future. These initiatives would lay the foundation for a sustainable and equitable society, where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. Section 6. The corrupting influence of big money. But achieving this vision, Sanders warned, won't be easy. He railed against the corrupting influence of big money in politics, a system where billionaires like Elon Musk can spend $270 million to support candidates like Donald Trump, further tilting the scales in favor of the wealthy and powerful. He called for overturning Citizens United, the disastrous Supreme Court decision that unleashed a torrent of dark money into our elections. He championed public financing of elections, a system that empowers ordinary citizens and dilutes the influence of wealthy donors. Section 7. Trump's legacy, a boon for the few, a burden for the many. Sanders didn't mince words when it came to Donald Trump. He condemned Trump's policies, which he argued consistently benefited the wealthy at the expense of the working class. He cited Trump's tax cuts for the rich, his attempts to repeal the Affordable Care Act, his cuts to Social Security, Medicaid, the VA, and the Department of Education. He denounced Trump's denial of climate change, his attacks on the free press, and his cozy relationships with authoritarian leaders around the world. Trump, he argued, represents the worst excesses of the oligarchy, a system where power and wealth are concentrated in the hands of a select few. Section 8. A call to arms, igniting the fires of change. But despite the challenges, Sanders remained optimistic. He reminded the crowd that throughout history, Progress has always come from the bottom up, from ordinary people standing up and demanding change. He invoked the spirit of the labor movement, the civil rights movement, and the women's suffrage movement. He called on the crowd to join the fight, to organize, to mobilize, to vote in record numbers. This, he argued, is not a spectator sport. The future of American democracy is at stake, and it's up to each and every one of us to reclaim it. Section 9. Echoes of Hope in the Nevada Desert. As the rally drew to a close, the energy in the arena remained electric. Sanders had tapped into something deep, a yearning for a fairer, more just society. His message resonated with the struggles, hopes, and aspirations of millions of Americans who feel left behind by a system rigged against them. The fight. The Oligarchy tour was more than just a series of rallies. It was a movement, a call to action. It was a reminder that even in the face of daunting challenges, the power to create change rests with the people. And as the crowd filed out of the arena, their chants of Bernie, Bernie echoing into the desert night, it felt like the first tremors of an earthquake were shaking the foundations of American politics.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.